Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Hess and this is Comcast Newsmakers coming to you from the Detroit Regional Chamber Mackinac Policy Conference at the Grand Hotel. Our topic today is the transformation of Detroit. Joining us now to talk about it is the mayor of the city of Detroit, Dave Bing. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Good being here.
So much in the works right now as hopefully the transformation of Detroit is underway and has been for some time. What's number one on the agenda as you try to improve, I know, transportation, public safety, and so many elements of what goes into making Detroit great again?
Well, I think we've had a population and a leadership that's been adverse to change. And this administration is about change. It's about transformation. And so we put plans together about a year and a half ago to transform Detroit, starting with, we think, the number one issue of public safety, followed by public lighting, and probably followed by public transportation. And I think all of those areas are major concerns from our citizens as well as the businesses in the city of Detroit. So we are far down the road in transforming our transportation system. We brought in an outside management team about close to 3 months ago, and they're doing an excellent job in transforming transportation in the city. We now hope legislation is going to be passed in Lansing so that we can get a bond passed so that we can raise some capital so that we can start putting lights back on in the city of Detroit. So those things are paramount for the city right now.
Certainly all of these things would be a challenge if there was a lot of money out there and budgets were great, but certainly in times right now with tough, tight budgets, how difficult is it when you're talking about public safety? It'd be easy if you could throw several hundred more police out on the streets and upgrade technology and that type of thing, but with budgets the way they are, it's a reality is that those aren't always options. How tough is it to keep Detroit safe and try to balance a budget?
Oh, I think there are obstacles across the board for the city of Detroit, but I think we've got a people and a leadership team in the administration at this point in time that's ready to stand up to the challenge. I think what we're doing is thinking differently. We're trying to think outside the box. You hear that a lot, but now I think some of the things that we're doing are truly outside the box because we know we don't have the capital or the financial wherewithal to do things that we like to do. So we've got a leadership team in the police department. As I said, we have an outside management team over in transportation, and we're working very closely with DTE and the state to fix our lighting system.
If the lights begin to come back on, if transportation begins to run more smoothly, if people begin to feel genuinely more safe, will jobs, economic development, sort of all of the things that Detroit needs naturally follow?
Well, I surely think so. You know, our downtown and midtown is booming. Our business leadership has done just a tremendous job in making investments in those particular areas. My bigger concern right now would be in the neighborhoods in the city of Detroit because, once again, that's where the majority of our citizens live. And their complaint is, once again, the lack of dependable transportation, the lack of lights so that they feel safe as they're moving around in the neighborhood. So we're going to get this done.
So it's not just a matter of, it sounds like you're already doing a good job of bringing businesses into the downtown area. Now let's see what we can do to attract, retain, and also attract folks and get more folks to perhaps move back into the neighborhoods. Absolutely.
What we want to do is retain what we have because we've been losing population for the last 50 years. Over the last 10 years, we've lost 25% of the population that we had. So we've got to figure out how to retain them and then make sure that we create the right kind of environment for this young population that's highly educated to move into the city, and that's going to help us from a tax base.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thanks for at least speaking optimistically and hopefully getting us on the road to transforming the city of Detroit. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Today's Comcast Newsmaker was Detroit City Mayor Dave Bing.